Frillian. Ooga booga. Okay. Okay. All right, let me swap a few things. Miriam Lam, hello. Ozerman, Ferellian, Mochi Mochi, hi. Everyone's popping in, but no one's popping in the actual chat. Brilliant. Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey all of you. I see all of you. You're all here. Yep. You're all here. Oh. Look at that. It has started to connect. Brilliant. I don't know why the top, 10 of you guys did not pop in, but starting at Ferellian's, damn. You're all back. Okay. Peek. Hey Connor, how's your day? What's going on? It's going really well. It's going pretty well. We going better if you spelled my name right. No, it's cool. Everyone spells it O-R. It is E-R, but I don't care. Skim Beeble, hi! Sonic. Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald? That was a horrible impression. Wow. What time is it there? It's here at 7 p.m. Right now it's 9 p.m. I'm an East Coast boy. It's a good time to not know that a lot of Sonic games exist, right? Don't worry. I think where game theory went wrong is that they thought every single game was canon because of Ian Webber's tweet. Because of Ian Webber's tweet, everything is canon. Which probably has done the most damage to the Sonic timeline ever. Right now I just started something that I really enjoyed and forgot about it. I think we should work game Siri would. What does that mean? Honestly, I had ideas of just animating each individual Sonic game or making a comic book of them to make a long, ongoing story like Dragon Ball. Ooh. Ooh. I interpreted the tweet that the Twitter takeovers and stuff like that were canon. They're not. They are not. Now, it is important to note that just because something is from the Twitter takeover does not mean it's canon. Like, Shadow's love for coffee that came from a Twitter takeover. There's no reason for it to not be canon, so they made it canon. I went back to writing a story that I really like. You went back or you want back? Because if you want back, do it. If you went back, nice job. Okay. So, here we go. Miriam Lam, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. Are you subscribed? Because if not, you should do that. Also, you should do that just so I can tell if my alert box works. Should go right there. See how Dragon Ball time skips? I want to have that between Superstars and SA1, like a 4-year time skip, and also change the character's age to it to make the relationships less weird. Agreed. Twitter takeovers feel like they can be canon adjacent, not explicitly canon, like the interviews aren't literally happening, but the meta jokes answers are, well, jokes. Yeah, exactly. You get it. I'm having a little fun with it. I believe that I'm almost done with Chapter 1. That's awesome, Good Game You. I'm glad that you're writing stuff that you enjoy doing. Can you guys tell me if the audio is too loud on your end? I have no idea how loud the music is, and if I'm too quiet or the music is too loud or vice versa, do let me know. I missed the Sonic Race tournament Friday. Don't worry, no you didn't. I hate to say it, but the tournament was canceled. It was a huge womp womp, but there just was no way to get any of us in one particular place without having other people join, because the lobbies weren't private, they were just friend lobbies of up to 4 in bigger lobbies of 12. So we had to cancel a thing, but it's not so much canceled that it's postponed. You'll see us back in just a month. And even then, we'll probably come back with a charity of some kind, so we'll actually get to do some good while racing each other, which is nice. I'm excited because my favorite webcomic might actually be getting an update. Ooh, it's been on hiatus since December. My wife is a huge Webtoon fan, and she talks about that sort of thing all the time. She's like, look at my ding. Look, it's back. Look at it. And I'm like, ooh, wow. Did I remember on some Fridays at 2 o'clock, I will still be in class. We'll stay in class. School's good. Also, there's some pieces of fan content I do consider canon, like Triple 16-bit. Although it's a fan remake, it does take a lot of creative liberties from the plot of the OG one. I agree with you, but it is technically still fanon. As a game theory fan, the time of the video was tough to watch. It seemed like it came from a good place, but it felt undercooked, which is a shame since I'd love to see more from Tom on this series. You got an ad? Miriam, that's actually a good thing. That means that they work. Again, I don't know what's working and what's not. This is my first time using Streamlabs, for those who don't know. I usually just go straight from OBS because, well, if I press the start stream button, the stream starts. It's that simple. Usually when I do something else like Streamlabs or Stream Elements or something, something gets cut off in the middleman and it all breaks. So it's good to know that it's working right now, although I have no idea why my text is as low quality as it is. That looks a little odd, but whatever. Hi, it is I. Hi, Mystic Angel. Hello. All right. Let's see here. So I said that we're going to be working on the timeline today. And we are. Timeline time. Let me add in a couple sources while you guys are talking. Don't mind me. Listen to this lovely lo-fi Sonic Unleashed. Have any of you read or heard of Homestuck? No, I have not read Homestuck. I've heard of it. Oh, I've heard of it, but I'm not reading it. Everyone's doing really well in the art. I love the art Discord because we get to show everyone our art. Yeah, you guys should join the Discord. It's in the comments below, in the description. It's in the description. We have an art part because I myself am an artist, so I love seeing what you guys have to make. I'm going to read you that message. Go nuts. Sorry I'm late. RTZ, you're not late. We're barely started. In fact, I'm still trying to find things. Where is this, dude? What the heck? Oh, wait. Oh. Yeah, it is 18 and up. That's policy. The problem is that keep going with the FNAF mindset of the franchise and even remotely similar, taking tiny details and outside sources to prove their point. Right. FNAF has this problem that I've never been a big fan of, which is... wait. Has the background music been... Guys, has the background music been echoing this whole time? I had it coming from my headphones and from my computer. Tell me these things, chat. Okay. What the heck? Dude, I had a picture like pulled up. And now it just disappeared from existence. I gotta take the picture again. Hold on, y'all. It doesn't matter. Now what happens? I will never give up the fight. Long as the voice inside drives me to run and bite. It doesn't matter who is wrong and who is right. Okay, here we go. Gotta throw that picture together. I have a theory. Hi! Hi, Pixelus. It's good to see you. Behold. It's so big I can't fit it in my thing. God, this makes it look like I have a hell of a forehead. It's not that big. Okay. This is the best I can do. Just looking at it makes my eyes bleed. Okay. Alright. Here's... Oh, man. Derber. I'm gonna put on Skyrim music because I like the Skyrim soundtrack.
I am an American.
Let's talk. Oh hey, Shrugpod's here. What's up, dog? Oh wow, you guys cannot see the chat. Wait, shit. Let me put the chat in front of... Oh, this is a very weird thing to put out. Hold on. Let's do it like that. Then remove this. Then put this up here. No. It's fine the way it is. Let's just leave it like that for the time being. Okay. I'm confused. What the heck is this? What the heck is the Sonic Chronicles anyway? This is the Sonic Game Theory timeline. The Game Theory Sonic timeline. Yeah, wait, why does Frontiers take place before Forces? Slow down, folks. Slow. In fact, you know what? Just for that. Just for... Oh. Hello? What? What? Be bigger. Be bigger. I'm just gonna... like that. And we'll go through it one at a time. One at a time. So, let's go through this really quickly, what it says. I'll throw out my opinions on it, and then we'll run it back and we'll do our own. So first of all, prehistoric times is what I'm staring at here. And it starts with, for some reason, Sonic Unleashed. Now this is kind of sort of true. It depends on where you want to start from. I know it's cut off. It's only as far back as I can go. This is Sonic Unleashed, and it's just the Time of Awakening stuff. Then it says Sonic Frontiers, the Ancients arrive, the world gets destroyed again, the Babylon aliens arrive. And that's actually all true. This stuff does happen. Well done on them. They got the bare minimum. Cool. Sonic Chronicles. Hi, Flux. What's going on? CH Animates. Hello, hello. They had hoverboards in caveman times. They didn't. Don't worry. The extreme gear does not happen for a long time. Shrugpod, as much as the man loves Sonic Chronicles is not canon, so I am kicking it with my strongest steel-toed boot. I love Sonic Chronicles. I think it's fun. Have I played it? No, I haven't. I probably won't, but it looks good. I did do a short about it, so I know a thing or two. But the Geyzoids were a thing. And it's odd, right? Because Chronicles isn't canon. But the Geyzoids are. So, like, Emerald was made by some ancient civilization. We're just not really sure which civilization. The Echidna tribe is destroyed. The Nocturnus clan, again, not true. Not true. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. The Black Arms arrive. Black Doom makes Shadow. So I guess this is 50 years ago. Okay. This is 2,000 years ago. The Geyzoids damage the Ark. Sonic Battle. Yeah, that's a thing that happens. Gun kills Maria. Womp womp. Then there is a timeline split 10 years ago. I feel like this entire thing is unnecessary. You don't really need this timeline split because that implies that, like, this is 10 years ago, which it's not. Sonic 06 stuff happens. Yeah. The main game, Silver's Future, wow, it's a game about time travel, who'da thunk? It's just odd to me, you know, because they have Sonic 06 here as a broken timeline, kind of separate from everything else. But then Sonic Unleashed isn't? I don't know if you guys can see Sonic Unleashed. It's this one. You can't really see my mouse. I am circling things. That's probably not helpful. Where am I going to put Sonic Prime? That series is canon? I'll die before I recognize Prime as canon. So then we move up to Sonic the Hedgehog 1. Okay, so many of those classic games aren't canon. They don't need to be. They're not actual things that happen. Like Sonic Cosmo Fighter. No. Waku Waku Sonic Patrol Car, which for some reason I can hear in Shrugpod's voice. Is not canon. He did not become a police officer. Why is Mean Bean Machine on there? Exactly my point. Doesn't need to be. Sonic 1 is. Sonic CD is. 2, yes. Sonic Chaos doesn't have to be, but I'd like to think it does. Triple Trouble is. Though I don't know why, and Shrug and I were talking about this in his stream earlier, which, by the way, if you're free on Wednesday afternoons, go watch Shrugpod's stream. I don't know his exact time. I apologize. I think it's like 2 to 5 Eastern, and I'm 8 to 11 Eastern, whatever. Triple Trouble did not happen before Sonic 3. Sonic 3 was the first time that he met Knuckles. Cosmo Fighter, no. Mean Bean Machine, no. Game World, no. No way Sonic 1 is canon. Well, Sonic 06 did happen, but its events were erased from history, so, like, it happened, but not really. Yeah, the best way to describe Sonic 06 is Sonic spent a weekend in Soliana to watch the Festival of the Sun, and nothing bad happened, the end. Sonic Drift, canon. Sonic Knuckles, canon. Spinball, not canon. Although, Ian Flynn says it is. So, sure. I'd like to think that Sonic Spinball and Knuckles Chaotix and Sega Sonic the Hedgehog happen all around the same time. Tails Adventure, Sonic Blast, that's all. There's no particular spot to put all those. I would just say that they happened in the order of when the game were released. Thank you for doing the stream. I was in Shrug stream earlier, it made my heart die. All I can say is a lot of the classic games are Sonic hopping from island to island doing things. And that can kind of just be its own little arc. So, sure, why not? Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Spinball works just fine as canon, just without the Special Zone Freedom Fighter sections. Tails Adventure, Tails Adventure 2, Napalm Bomb. Well done, Tails. Sonic Labyrinth, very cool. Sonic Drift 2. By the way, Amy does not have a talking car. Sonic Drift can be canon, but Amy does not get a talking car. What happened in Spinball? Spinball's odd. It's like, yeah, the Sonic Island Adventures is the best way to describe pretty much Chaos, Spinball, Blast, 3D Blast, Sega Sonic, and then Tails Adventure Series and Knuckles Chaotix and Sonic Labyrinth. Those are all pretty much the Sonic like Island Adventure stories. What happened in Spinball? So, God, I haven't even played Spinball in so long. I'm one of the few people I know who's actually beaten Spinball and didn't just stop at Toxic Caves. But there are 16 Chaos Emeralds. Let's start there. So, you know, immediate problems. And then the Archie's Saturday morning characters, like Sally Acorn and Antoine de Colette and Bunny Rabbit and Rotor Walrus and yada yada yada. They're in that game. Like, I forget if they're like unlockable little character stickers or they're just on like the back of the arcade machine that you play. Regardless, he went there, he stopped Eggman. That's pretty much all the story you need. Sonic the Fighters. Sonic the Fighters, again, there's no reason for it to not be canon, I think. There are 8 Chaos Emeralds in Sonic the Fighter, so it has that same sort of issue that Sonic Spinball has with the 16, but it's fine for the most part. I always love the idea that Sonic spends his youth exploring the local islands before expanding to the larger continents in the following areas. Yes, and this is also about the time where he still really had his plane. Tails wasn't holding on to it 24/7. I don't see Triple Trouble here, even though it could make sense. It is here. It's between Chaos and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Machine. It's this one. It's right there. I found it for you. There you go. I understand it's supposed to be the Sonic timeline, but I'm still super confused. This is not the correct timeline. Good Gamer U. This is Game Theory's timeline. We're gonna make our own. They showed up to Turbo once or twice, which makes it classified that Fighters, Blast, 3D, and most of them are non-canon. Not everything in a game has to be true for that game to be canon. Like Sonic Unleashed says that Sonic moves faster than the speed of light. That's dumb. You know it's dumb. That's not the case. It might say that, but it's not true. We need to drag MatPat back from heaven to fix the scribe. Dude, I remember, because I have been watching Game Theory. I have been. God, I can't speak today. Oh no. I've been watching Game Theory since I was a kid, since I was in like 5th grade. I remember when Five Nights at Freddy's first came out. I would sit there in the back of my classroom with some other friends on an iPad and we would mess with it. It was fun. And even since then, I was like, every time MatPat would release a video, I'd be like, damn this guy. He's never doing my Sonic stuff justice. You guys keep talking. I'm gonna continue moving on. So then we have Sonic Mania and Sonic Superstars. Problem. Sonic Mania happens after Sonic Generations. We gotta, okay, all right. We gotta talk about Sonic Generations, guys. Classic Sonic. Frelian, would you please tell me, as my admin, what is Classic Sonic referred to as in Sonic Forces? He might just not be here. Whoops. Sonic's channel. Hi. What do you think Eggman Nega's origin is in Rivals 1 and 2 is never released in Japan, so Eggman Nega is from the future or not? He is. I think. Oh my god. I actually don't know. I forget if Mr. Negative is either Eggman's descendant and then he pretended to be from another dimension, or he is from just the Eggman of the other dimension and he's pretending to be his descendant. I'm pretty sure he just pretended to be from Blaze's world, but he's just a future version of Eggman's, just a descendant of Eggman, but whatever. You're a Sonic from another dimension. Guys, here's my bombshell. Here is my bombshell for you all. Okay? Classic Sonic. Actually, you know what? I'll just leave the music off. I don't need the music. I can talk to you guys just like this. I'll keep the music on, though, just so I can not... You guys can hear it, but I can hear myself think. Classic Sonic can be from both. They don't need to be mutually exclusive things. Let me explain. I just smacked my mic. Let me explain. Classic Sonic is modern Sonic, but younger. It's that simple. But in Sonic Generations, what happens? Well, they both get sucked into a time travel story, and because modern Sonic doesn't remember any of Generations happening. Exactly my point, Mochi. That was new to him, too. He didn't, live through this, go about his life, just kind of, forget that Time Eater was going to blow him up on his birthday, and then get sucked into this again. That was the first for the both of them, which means we have a branching timeline. So we have this right here, and then everything over here is Classic Sonic continuing. Now, they really, really want to mess with this. They refer to superstars in a Tails tube. The Tails tubes are 100% canon. What do you mean modern Sonic just remembers it? He doesn't remember living through it as Classic Sonic, is what I mean. He remembers Generations, but from his perspective. He didn't, live through it twice. Right? So what I think the best way to explain it is that you have Sonic Mania kind of going forward, is the alternate dimension for Classic Sonic. Now, again, they do want to retcon this. As I just said, they've referred to Sonic Superstars in the Tails tube. Trip the Sun Gazer is an entire thing in the IDW comics, and the IDW comics are very much canon. So, here's how we are going to handle this. The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog is an interesting game because it's not canon. But it is? What's the deal? You can see Barry in a ton of things. He's shown up several times in the IDW comics, always swapping jobs, the poor bastard. But the official answer is, it didn't happen, but something very similar happened. And I am okay with this answer. I would like to have very hard specifics, but I'm okay with this answer. There is a Classic Sonic from another dimension. And he may well be the Classic Sonic that we still have today in Sonic Superstars. But it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Barry's leaked to be a background character in the next comic. I believe that comic actually came out today. So if you guys want to go learn about Lunar the Sugar Glider, go check it out. So that's what I'm going to say about that. Anyway, Sonic 4, kill it with fire. But yeah, Sonic 4 happens before Sonic Heroes because it sets up stuff for Metal Sonic. What are we talking about? We're talking about Game Theory's timeline, and then we're going to go work on our own. Sonic Adventure happens. Sonic Shuffle happens. Yeah, Sonic Shuffle is one of those, it happened like that, so it doesn't really matter. Sonic 4 isn't canon, it's stupid. Again, you know what? Sonic 4, I just don't care enough about to decide whether or not it's canon. I'm pretty sure it is. There are parts of it that aren't. It's one of those, it isn't completely canon. I hate time travel stories, right? Right. What about Sonic Math? Do you mean like Sonic X for the Leapfrog? No. Which ending of Frontiers is canon? Good question, Sonic's channel. It's the latter. Obviously, with Sage still being here in things like Team Sonic Racing, yes, they went ahead and retconned the original ending, and you get the new one. Sonic 4, I believe, ends with Little Planet being captured, and then it, like, is never cleaned up, which is why a lot of people dunk on Sonic Chronicles. I don't know what happened. We can just say that that didn't happen, and then everything else did. Moving on. Advance, Adventure 2. I don't know if I would put Advance before Adventure 2. I'd say the Adventure games happen one by one. Sonic Pinball Party, obviously not canon. What the hell? Sonic Heroes, duh. Shadow the Hedgehog, duh. Sonic Battle, duh. Sonic Chronicles, I don't know. I don't think Shrugpod's here, but womp womp. Pew. Advance 3, again, I would have had that happen earlier. Sonic Rush. A lot of these games, it's not like you need to figure out exactly who says what and who knows what when to tell when it falls in the timeline. Most of the games follow the publishing order. Sonic Rivals, Sonic Rivals 2, Rush Adventure, Secret Rings. So here is my hot take. Here's a hot take for you. Miriam Lum, you're back. Well, I know you asked earlier for another hot takes video, so let me give you a hot take here. Sonic the Black Knight is not canon, but Sonic and the Secret Rings is. It's really cool because the ending of Unleashed leads into the opening of Black Knight. No, it doesn't. Pixelist, tell me what you mean by that. And Sonic references Secret Rings in Crossworld's dialogue. Exactly. Sonic Black Knight. The ending of the game reveals the entire story to have not happened. He literally just made up a story on the spot to get out of a date with Amy. That's how it ends. People just forget this. Sonic Black Knight did not happen. He was just he just stood up Amy on a date. He was trying to get out of it. He's like, oh yeah, I mean, who would have thought that I was the real King Arthur? I mean, come on. That was crazy. And I think what really makes my point more is we have never seen anything involving Black Knight ever again. But we've seen Secret Rings a bunch. He mentions it in Generations. You know, nothing weirder than alien amusement parks or magic genies. There's the whole bit in Sonic Racing Crossworlds right now where you can go to the area in Secret Rings and he has a line of dialogue where he's like, where are you, Shara? So that very much did happen, but I don't think Black Knight happened. I love Black Knight. None of my ideas of what's canon or what's not is based off how much I like the game. I don't give a shit about Sonic 4, but I'm pretty sure it's canon. I really like Black Knight. I just don't think it happened. I don't think it actually is canon. So that's my hot take there. Oh, was it confirmed he made the story? I thought the joke's that Amy didn't believe him because it sounds crazy. Yeah, but there are so many stories I'm shoving into the span of like 3 years. If I can dock one, I will. And it's really easy to dock Black Knight. And there's no evidence that it did happen compared to the evidence that it hasn't. Pixelus, you ran into the dialogue yourself? That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And then IW was comparing the Curse of Flame to the Werehog to the Nettle. Exactly. They reference Secret Rings all the time. They never reference Black Knight. It's so weird to me. It's so odd to me that they do that. But, okay, whatever. I'm fine by that. What's next? Sonic Unleashed, very much canon. I know when Sonic Frontiers came out, a lot of people were really confused about how the lore worked. They were like, what's going on? Why is it? But you already had the lore of the history. And I'm like, again, not mutually exclusive. The Ancients and the Time of Awakening happened simultaneously. Well, they both happen at different times, but then the Ancients lived through the Time of Awakening. But we'll get there. I have my own thing to show you guys. We'll get there. I wouldn't be surprised if Black Knight gets referenced eventually, but I hear you. Yeah, but until it does... Will you like Sonic and the Secret Rings to get a remake? I don't. I don't think I want a Secret Rings remake. I think the fans are doing more than enough job on Project Reignition. I'd love to play that at some point when it comes out, when it's done. What I would like is a Black Knight remake. But, I keep pointing at the screen, but I only want a Black Knight remake if it is an open world game. Remake the game from the ground up. Give me all of Avalon to run through. And I will be happy. I will be blown away if you make a Sonic Frontiers-esque Black Knight game. That'd be phenomenal. Talked so much. Ran out of breath. Sonic Colors. Canon. One thing that's really important for people who are really dumb. I'm actually working on rebuilding Sonic Black Knight in Unity, just like PO6. No motion controls. We'll now make it work tomorrow. Good. Pixelless. Good luck to you, sir. We're talking about King Arthur without the time stones? It's gonna be waiting a while when I'm working on it. Good Game You! I assume that's Good Game You, who has been here for a long time. You are not a new subscriber. You've been here. What? Okay. Sonic Colors. Let's talk about that. Sonic Colors is canon. There's no way around it. I don't like Sonic Colors, by the way. I'm a Sonic Colors hater, for those who don't know. Leave now if you're going to rant on me for it. I don't like it. I'm sorry to say I only subscribed earlier today. I'm sorry. Pixelless, that's just fine. I am more than happy to have you here. Sonic Colors has 2 issues, in my mind. 2 issues. Well, 3, actually. 3 issues. 1, Sonic Colors DS lore, my beloved, is that one. No. Sonic Colors DS is not canon. Sonic Colors Wii is. I know there's a whole lot more in the DS version, but it also makes 0 sense. I went over this in my Hot Takes video, but in the original game, you have Sonic, Tails, Orbot and Cubot and Eggman. It's 5 characters. Really just Sonic and Eggman. In the DS version, you have Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Cream, Big, Cheese, Silver, the entirety of Team Chaotix, Blaze, Shadow, Rouge, Omega's probably there, and like a Chow named Milk. There's like 18 different characters. Why? Why? It isn't a thing. It's really dumb. Now, there's a lot of stuff. It was like, oh, like the Mother Wisp. That's from Sonic DS. Yes, and the Mother Wisp is, again, in Team Sonic Racing, which is regrettably canon. So it's a lot like the Twitter takeovers. It's not canon. It's not. But if there's no reason for something to be canon, there's no reason for it not to be. Earlier, I made the example of Shadow liking coffee. That has never been a thing, but they made jokes about it in Twitter Takeover, people enjoyed it, so they decided to make it an actual character trait. There was no reason to not make that canon. Sonic Colors is the same way with the Wisps. The Mother Wisp from the DS version wasn't a thing at the time. They have since decided, hey, this was a good idea, let's make it canon. And they did. And I talk about it in my short on the Wisps. I remember hearing that Mother Wisp is a species of wisp, and any idea where? I wonder where you heard that one. That was me. Yes, I stand by it. What about Sonic Lost World? What's your opinion on that? Well, we're getting there. Sonic Generations? Yep. Sonic and Shadow Generations? Yep. So, in the video, Game Theory's video, they talk about... Mother Wisp is my mom. Whoa. Wait, was that really you? Well, if you saw it in a YouTube short, then yeah, that was me. In the Game Theory video, they talk about how Silver from Sonic Generations isn't actually Silver, but he's just like a reanimated memory, and I think that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. His reasoning for this was that Silver's not there in the opening, but he is there in the end. Which still doesn't make any sense. And also, Sonic X Shadow Generations. That's literally the point of the game. Shadow was not there, he gets dragged into it, and then he is. And it's also the same reason why I really want Silver to be... They're not going to make a Sonic X Silver Generations game, or just a regular Silver Generations game. I would love them to. I don't trust them to do it, but I'd love them to, because you had every character turned to stone. Except 3, specifically. Sonic, Silver, Shadow, and then I'm not counting Metal Sonic because he's not organic to begin with. Yeah, exactly. Metal Sonic was there. Riboflavin gets what I'm talking about. You have Sonic Generations. What was Sonic up to during the Time Eater incident? You have Sonic X Shadow Generations. What was Shadow up to during the Time Eater incident? And that only works because in the game, Shadow's not turned to stone. Therefore, who else is the only other person not currently turned to stone? Silver. What's he doing? I want to know what Silver's up to. That's my little rant. Sonic Free Riders happened a while ago. I don't know why they put Free Riders this far down the line. Or maybe it didn't. It'd be cool to see any of the Riders tracks in a Generations game at some point. Yeah, I know. MatPat didn't make this. I know. Don't worry. Lost World. Here's a fun fact about Lost World that has not been confirmed anywhere. You're hearing it here first because, again, timeline, man. Sonic Forces and Sonic Lost World happen not simultaneously, but Sonic Forces' episode Shadow happens during Lost World. That's why Eggman couldn't handle Shadow the Hedgehog, you know, like his biggest problem himself, because he was currently on the Lost Hex dealing with the Lost World shenanigans. This also makes more sense because in Sonic Forces, it takes place, I believe, 2 months prior to the... episode Shadow takes place, I think, 2 months prior to Sonic Forces, which in turn takes place over like 6 months, and that would put you around the time Sonic Lost World is. You saw me talking about that during Shrug Stream? Yeah. Jump and Dash, obviously, it is a mobile game. It is not a thing. They do not need to be canon. The same goes for Sonic Runners and Runner's Adventure. That's an interesting thought. I never considered that before. I've always found it interesting how long Sonic Forces occurs over. Yeah, the war to take back the planet is always funny to me. Especially when you have things like the Diamond Cutters, who, if you want to know more about those guys, I will be making a short on it pretty soon, but for what you can get now, just go look at my channel and find the Who the Heck is Whisper the Wolf. This channel has been here for, I don't know, the mercenary group, the Diamond Cutters. It seems like they've been around for years, right? Like that's how they're written. But there were no Wisps on the planet at all pre-Sonic Colors. And Sonic Colors is like one of the most recent games. The Wisps are really, really new. So, just something to think about. Team Sonic Racing is canon, again, unfortunately. Sonic Frontiers, yes, it happens after Forces. I do not know what they were thinking with that one. And then Sonic Rivals 1 and 2, Silver's Future. There's like a billion Silver's Futures, man. That's Silver's whole deal. There isn't one canon future. He's always changing the damn thing. Yes, and the Mario and Sonic games are not canon. Then down here, I don't know why, he treated the Sonic Boom universe being an alternate universe as some crazy revelation. I cannot confirm this, but I think Shattered Crystal isn't even canon to the Sonic Boom series. Like, Lyric is done at the end of Rise of Lyric. I don't think Shattered Crystal is even canon to its own timeline. But it's not really important. It's Sonic Boom, whatever. I actually might be making a Sonic Boom consistency video later on, just because I think it's really, really cool that there is a weird amount of effort put into the Sonic Boom universe. Like if you play the games, watch the TV show, and read the comics, there is very much there's so much world building, and they never talk about it because that's not the point of Sonic Boom. It's a comedy. Yeah. Okay, chat. All right. So that is this thing. It's a lot of this thing. It's a lot of crazy stuff. Here's what we're gonna do. I will be right back. I'm gonna yoink this. Don't mind me. I'm literally grabbing a B right back .png, sticking that in my downloads, throwing that in sources, bada bing, bada boom, image, add source, new source, title that thing BRB, add source, bada bing, and bada boom. Okay, so chat, I'm gonna go run to the bathroom. Give me like 3 minutes and I shall return. So go ahead and talk about canon things. James McIntyre, hi. It's been confirmed that Prime is canon. Yes, I know. And don't make me get started on that because I will yell for 20 minutes straight. I'll be right back. BRB. I'm grabbing a refill on water. Give me 30 more seconds. Okay. Aha. You. I'm back. Ah. Hello, hello, hello. All right. Don't mind me. Just gotta throw this down. Okay. The game theory timeline. Oh boy. You can leave. Go away. You can stay there. Alright, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? There's a lot of people going on in chat. I see the word Soliana and that immediately makes me interested. Let's talk about the Ultimate Sonic lore, Sonic the Olympic Games. Yes, Sonic won every single category. At least the Sonic characters did. They're literally designed to beat the Mario characters, like in real life. That's what the point of them are. Okay, mine is fine. Sonic 06 is a great game. I agree. It's my favorite Sonic game to date. Yeah, it's a broken fucking mess. What of it? Who won, actually? Jared Lopez, if you're still here, I don't know what you're referring to. I apologize. Personally, I believe that Sonic 06 happened between the events of Sonic Unleashed and Heroes. Well, yeah. That's not personally, that just is. Also, my father-in-law had a breakfast thing over the other day, and so he got a small thing of powdered donuts. So I'm gonna have one. You guys like powdered donuts? I think they get everywhere, but aside from that, they're pretty darn good. Sonic won the Olympic Games. Real. Miriam Lom. Pour one out for Brian. Okay. Okay. You're making me hungry? Am I? Do you guys like water? I like water, Sonic. I think water's great. I might know nothing about 06 lore, so sure, your theory's canon. For real though, I'm really thinking it over. Now that I actually think about it, for Sonic Forces, why did Classic Sonic actually come? Because, I mean, the real reason is because Sega wanted him to be in the game for some fucking reason. But the canonical reason is because the instability of the Egg Reverie Zone from Sonic Mania, the Chaos Emeralds, and the Warp Topaz opened up a portal that sent him there. That is why. Sonic solos Wally West, how dare you? Classic Sonic moves at light speed? No, he doesn't. Oh geez, I lost my place. Writers need another Sonic so people keep playing past the opening cutscene or something. Sonic said, enjoy your future, it's gonna be great! And then Classic Sonic is sucked back to Hell on Earth. I think another really important thing that proves that Classic Sonic is not a younger Sonic is that Classic Sonic goes to Green Hill Zone, which Tails had never been to at that point. So, like, it's doubly screwed in terms of not making sense. It's a good point. I feel like it's because the Phantom Ruby copied were all being destroyed. Character Forces, sup bro. You say Black Knight isn't canon, but there was a Coco and Sonic Frontiers update too. Had a Caliber on his back. Yes. You know what else the Cocos had? Pinatas and party hats. Do you think they actually had those though, or was it just for the birthday celebration? Canonically, they were not celebrating Sonic's birthday on the Star Mall Islands with pinatas. And there's Sonic Channel art with Sonic and Merlina. Those artworks are canon. Again, no they're not. For what you're referencing, first of all, is the AU stuff, which by definition is not canon. I'm pretty sure it's just Sonic and Merlina, like, in a cooking show. And, dude, I don't know where people get the idea that the Sonic Channel artwork is canon. I'm sure someone in charge said it was, but it's really easy to disprove. Watch, I'll show you. Let me grab a picture. Let me just look one up right now. Sonic Channel art. Ooh, look at this one. Look at that one. Wow, you guys can't see this, I know. Hold on. This one's nice. Let's grab this one. This is of Blaze. I like Blaze. She's a nice character. She's a pretty character. Let me save as... Nope, that's... I can't save from Instagram. Oh, shit. How do I save this? Oh, whatever. Low quality one from Google it is. .png. Drag that in. You see this? I know it's low quality, but you see this, guys? This lovely thing here? What is behind her? Someone, anyone in chat, tell me who is who is painted in a portrait in her office. Riboflavin starts laughing because he understands where I'm going with this. It's Big the Cat. Big the Cat is not like canonic. Like, why would he be there? Right? You got two options. Either A, he's the king, because she's the princess, so he's either the king of the Soul Empire, or he's like her father or something. Neither of which makes any sense. No, the Sonic Channel art isn't canon. Sure, it may be that this is exactly what her office looks like, and this is what she was up to during the course of the day, but it's not 100% canon. Much like a bunch of other things, I hate to say we have to pick and choose what isn't, but this is one of those situations where, yes, something like this definitely happened. This was definitely like a picture from the day, but it wasn't exactly like this. Which means, no, they are not like straight gospel. Okay. Now what? Now we make our own timeline. Yeah? You guys ready to make our own timeline? Let's begin. Luckily, I've already done this. So, folks, I introduce to you the greatest PowerPoint you will ever see. It took me oh so long to make this. I made it for college, I believe. Yeah. Let's see, don't save that. X out of this. I don't need that. Get out of here. Let me just clean up a little bit. Clean it up. Are we sure this one's going to be accurate? Yes, because it's by me. This will be accurate. So help me, or my name isn't Canon Construction. It's literally my name. This is what I do. I construct the canon, and you guys get to see what it is. So let me go ahead and grab a source here. Add a source. Window capture. Add. Yes, I shall name this PowerPoint. Welcome to class. It's in session. There will be a test. Take out your notebook. Hold on. You didn't see that. You didn't see that. It's not done. Wait. No. Hold on. PowerPoint. Good game, you. I'm so glad you don't. But, I do. It's my whole thing. Bam. Alright, everyone. This. So I need to express two things. First and foremost is that we literally don't have enough time in the day to go over this in its entirety. This thing is huge. This is a almost 200 slide long PowerPoint. It takes me, if I am going quickly and not answering questions, 3 hours. I have actually given this at keynote events at colleges before. For some reason. They were like game clubs or something. They invited me. Jarrett Lopez, don't worry. We only have an hour left, so we're not going to be finishing this. But the most important thing that I should clarify is this is a 200 slide long, 3 hour long PowerPoint of everything before the first game. So, will there be a part 2? Yes, we will gladly, if you guys want to, instead of, because again, we could be doing Sonic 06 right now. I have it just sitting on my desk, but this seems to be more timely because of the whole game theory shenanigans. So, behold, ladies and gentlemen, everything before Game 1. This is lore. This is not the entire story of Sonic the Hedgehog. That's kind of Game 1 to, I guess, Sonic Frontiers as of right now. But, yeah. Let's begin, shall we? Let us go. How am I supposed to flip through this? Wait. Because I have to, like, go back and forth. Which I guess I can. Or I can open it on my phone and I can use it like a pager. Mega Man Smasher Pass. Don't pay attention to that one. Oh, not that one. Here it is. Here it is. All right. Right. Excuse me. So, numero uno. Disclaimer time. There are a lot of Sonic games. There are a lot, and it's a touchy subject to a lot of people. So how do we know what is canon? There are 5 rules that I'm going to instill, to let you know what is canon and what is not. First of all, time does indeed flow in this universe. There needs to be actual time for these things to happen. If I tell you that, like, if I was gone for 24 hours and I told you I took the weekend in Vegas, obviously, no, I didn't. It hasn't been a weekend. I understand we're all nerds, but still, do we really need to learn about the Sonic timeline? Good game, you are free to leave. Just saying. Good game, you may be in the wrong place, dude. I'm happy to have you here. But no heckling. Oh, but definitely ask questions. Please do. I really want to. I've never shown this to, like, on stream before. If you have any questions during the thing, tell me. Do we really need to learn about it? No, you don't. But I'd like to. I'm sure Riboflavin, Miriam Lam, Jared Lopez, these guys seem pretty interested. Pixelus. Alright. 2 is whatever Ian Flynn says. Like him or hate him, the man's in charge of writing. I trust him with most things, so I'm not terribly concerned about him. There are certain exclusions that I disagree with Ian, and I will make my best effort to show you why I think he is wrong. But if whatever he says, I don't like, just because I don't agree with it, if I have no evidence to actually rebuke it, then it's canon. The more advanced console version of a game. I put Sorry Izuka there because, again, this is the Sonic DS versus Sonic Colors Wii bit. Yeah, Sonic Colors Wii is going to be the canon game. Like, everything I understand about what is this? How does this thing happen? What is going on? Good game, you. Dude, seriously. If you don't want to be here, just go somewhere else. Crossover games. Yes, Smash is obviously not canon. Most of the racing games, minus... I say most because things like Sonic R, yeah. Sonic Team Sonic Racing, for some reason, yeah. And then case-by-case reasons we'll get to. So, here are all the games that are not canon. I say all. I could actually add a bit more. I want to remove Sonic Chaos from this and Sonic Labyrinth because they are as of right now, but pretty much everything else, Sonic Drift doesn't need to be. Yeah. So you're telling me that Sonic hasn't met Ridley before? Mochi Mochi, that is correct. So take a look at these. If your favorite game is on it, I apologize. Because Schoolhouse isn't... These are not canon games. Sonic Leapster, no! Alright. Moving on, moving on. This is funny. I thought this was funny. Right, so the beginning of time. I don't really know where to start. It's like, well, you should start from the beginning. Okay, well, where's the beginning? So we're starting from the beginning of time. Solaris is the best play to start off with. Solaris is, well, hard to say. I don't think Solaris made time and space, but obviously it does control it, as, quote, Eggman here, a transcendent life form that exists in the past, present, and future. So, yeah, it's just been around since time began. It controls it. I don't think it made it, but it's definitely been there. It's like, I don't know, Darker Eye. Wait, I'm not good with Pokemon. I might be wrong. Whatever. Solaris is the first thing in the timeline. Then we also have Time Eater, which is just a shittier version of Solaris. There's nothing particularly interesting about Time Eater. He's just quite literally a worse Solaris. Praise Solaris. Bro is a Solianan citizen. I'm having another powder donut. They're mini donuts. They're like the size of my thumb. Millions of years from present day. The end. The end has been around. Again, I'm not sure from when. Definitely wasn't the beginning of time, but it's been a long... They're powdered rings? They are. I feel like Sonic. The end doesn't like living things. It likes blowing shit up. It will. It does. It has, and will continue. And it was just kind of going around doing its own thing until tens of thousands of years from present day, we meet the ancients. They didn't call themselves ancient. Obviously, we have no idea what they called themselves. Unless Professor Victoria would like to explain some things. But they look like this. Pretty cool. They're made of water. The fact that there were like 3 different moons. No. That's not a fact. Mochi, what are you talking about? Sonic Superstars had a weird background. But they weren't different moons. If Chaos is a... What do you think their favorite food is? The ancients? My legitimate answer to that question would be probably something bread related. Because it's water soluble. The ancients were pretty cool. They were living on their own planet, but then they had to leave their planet because the end found them and blew it up. Womp womp. Clear, the ancients ate cocoa. Duh. Funny. In fact, let's talk about the cocoa, shall we? Good point, RoboFlavin. Let's go over those. So, the cocoa, you guys know this, you know, they're the hopes and dreams of the ancients. They kind of chill on. When an ancient dies, the cocoa remains if that ancient had not finished, like, his purpose. Kind of like a ghost who like stays around to haunt until he can fulfill whatever he wanted to do when he was alive, I guess. That's what a cocoa is. They come in all different shapes and sizes. Usually it's the stuff on the bottom. I don't know why Hermit and Elder look different, but they do. They're just harder ghosts. The Chaos Emeralds. The Chaos Emeralds are not from Earth. They are alien to Earth. I think the best way to explain this before I continue is that, like, every planet kind of has its own set of rocks. I'll come back to that later, but just hold on to that for right now. So the Chaos Emeralds are from where the Ancients are. I don't know if they're from anywhere before that. I think it's safe to assume that they are just from the Ancients planet. So that's that. They used them to power their ships. That's what all that cool tech stuff is going on. They made Chaos engines, and the Chaos Emeralds powered their ships. The Master Emerald. Oh, actually, let me go back one. You can see that it's like kind of getting distorted, and they're like, whoa, that's because the Chaos Emerald and their Chaos drives started to not work. Their Chaos engines, I should say. Drives are a different thing. Their Chaos engines started to not work, and that's because they started to pass by the Master Emerald. The Master Emerald, I say it's a big rock with a cool energy frequency because it is the exact inverse of the Chaos Emeralds. It's just a much larger rock, kind of like in the movies. It's just probably could be broken up into 7 Chaos Emerald sized chunks, and it just negates the Chaos Emeralds. So there is the Earth. It's not Mobius, and if you hear anyone call it Mobius, please punch them for me. I refer to the anthropomorphic animals as Mobians because it's easier to say than anthropomorphic animals. But it's not Mobius. It's Earth. They live on Earth. I don't think the Ancients made the Emeralds. The Emeralds are definitely some natural phenomenon. Punch me, I'll forever love the name Mobius. So, have you ever heard of inside of you there are 2 wolves? I made that joke in my short. That's the case with the Earth anyway. We got Dark Gaia and Light Gaia. Ironically, Dark Gaia is the brighter one. I've never understood that. There's like 0 lights on Light Gaia, but all of Dark Gaia is emitting light. And they're pretty cool. The 2 of them, they're pretty cool. This is Light Gaia in his weakened form. You guys know him as Chip. He's a cool little guy. Is that why Sonic turns into a wolf? Yes. Kind of, sort of. We'll get that. Pixelus, I've decided screw work tomorrow. I'm sticking this through. Don't worry, I won't keep you for long, Pixelus. We'll only be here for another 45 minutes. So we will get through this more later. Light Gaia is in his weakened form. He's like a little fairy chipmunk. Not chipmunk. Chihuahua. He's a fairy chihuahua. Yeah. Take as long as you want. I only have till 11. Then I'm going to bed. The Time of Awakening is a very important part of the Earth, or obviously Sonic's Earth's, history. Quote here in my Dill Pickle impression. It is a major global phenomenon that occurs naturally on the Earth every few millions of years, where the planet is broken apart by Dark Gaia, following the beast's return to full maturity in an attempt to destroy the world. That's my best Dan Green. Yeah, so quote Dylan Pickle here, Professor Dylan Pickle. This is the thing that happens every few millions of years where the Earth breaks into pieces because Dark Gaia has fully matured. And as Dark Gaia fully matures, Light Gaia fully weakens. And that's why when we see Dark Gaia, like the thing on the left here, Light Gaia looks like this because he is in his weakened form. Dylan Pickle, I get that. Yeah, I don't actually know if his name is Dylan Pickle. It is an Archie. And again, there's like no reason for it not to be, so I'm just going to go ahead and call him that. Man, Earth really just kind of gets screwed over millions of years. It takes centuries for the fights to finish. I don't know why they decided this was a good idea. I don't know why they did that, but they did, so apparently that's just what happens. And you know, sometimes nothing happens. Because sometimes the Earth breaks up, but then just like in Unleashed, nothing really happens. Light Gaia just kind of pummels them, and then it closes back up on itself, and you're set for another few million years. And like every few million years is a long time, guys. A long time. That's like all of current Earth's history is like several million years. Sometimes Dark Gaia just wants to sleep in. Real. Anyway, continuing on about Earth, there are these three particular islands called these Starfall Islands. There's Kronos, Ares, and Chaos. I know people are like, oh, Rhea and Ouranos. No, they're not separate islands. They're just different parts of Kronos. You gotta break a few planets to make an omelet. So this is where they decided to land. They landed on the Kronos island, and they decided to kind of spread to the islands nearby, and they did all that sort of things. So that's where the ancients currently are. And thus begins the first great civilization. Chat, let me explain something. In Sonic Battle, it refers to these things called the Great Civilizations. And everyone kind of just ignored it. They were like, yeah, whatever. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Wait. We're still listening to music. I completely forgot I even had music on. It's routed to my headphones, which I'm not wearing. Right, sorry. So the first great civilization, they did this thing called, I think the fourth great civilization was destroyed by the Geyzoid. And everyone's like, well, what is that? And then we just didn't talk about it for 2 decades. Because they never touched on that again. Until it wasn't Sonic X Shadow Generations. That's the third time they've mentioned it. I forget where, but I'm pretty sure they've mentioned it before. And then when they mentioned it the next time, everyone was like, oh. So like that's a thing? Like an actual history? And then they've been going into it kind of ham ever since. Because then they have Professor Victoria in the Tails Tube. And she's like, oh yeah, great civilizations. But I want you all to know that I had this stuff written down as the first great civilization before Sega ever confirmed that. This has actually happened like, I want to say 5 times. I made this PowerPoint, I looked at all the lore that they have established and decided, hey, I can make connections here and here. And then like within the next year, Sega would go ahead and confirm that in something. So I'm the genius. Moving on. We have a lot of aliens in the Sonic universe. Yes, sir. Who made a video on that, I wonder? It's actually the first video I ever made. I know it looks like it's the third one I did. I mean, if you watch the video, I explain it myself, but that was the first one I made. Humble brag. Hey, my name is Cannon Construction. It's what I do. Anyway, they used the Chaos Emeralds to make their civilization. It was pretty cool. They made this thing called Cyberspace because they were like, man, this your channel's so big with such few videos. It's because of my shorts. My channel's not that new. Well, sorry, it's not that old. It's pretty new. I've been around for what, 3.5 months? I've made 4 long-term videos, but I'm surprised I've even made 4. To be fair, I want to make 2 videos a week. No, 1 video every 2 weeks. But I have been so stuck on making other videos that I haven't really been able to upload anything. It's really annoying because I know it's been 3 weeks since I should have uploaded another video if I was sticking with a 2-week bit. It's everything because the ads. I apologize, Good Game You, but it is how I make money. Do you guys know who Radical Soda is? Did you ever watch a guy named Radical Soda? He's a New Zealander. There's another YouTuber named Shrugpod. You've probably heard of him. I think a bunch of you. I know Pixelus was literally in his chat earlier today. Do you know of a YouTuber named Salty TK Dan? He's the big one. I was saving him for the last, but the big one. So Salty, Rad, Shrugpod, and I brought on to take a quiz. And I have been working on animating that video because Salty DK Dan is not a live streamer like I am. He is a PNG tuber. Which means, for consistency, I have to do a lot of work to make everyone a PNG tuber. In fact, if you've been on ShrugPod's YouTube channel recently or his Discord, you would see a lot more emotes that popped up. ShrugToon. I made ShrugToon. I drew that. I can grab him. He's right here. What is that? Oh my gosh. Whoa. What? No way. Is that? Turn around, dude. Yo, it's ShrugToon. What's he doing? It's ShrugPod. He's right there. He's like, hey, what's going on? So I'm working on a video with the three of them, and that has just taken, oh, so very long. It should be done within the next 2 weeks. Hopefully the first week. Anyway, to answer your question, my channel's as big as it is because of my shorts, which I make every other day. Nothing could game you. Nothing. Now we're moving back. What's the name of Salty DK Dan's OC? I mean, is it not just Salty? I mean, his real name is Derek Keller. I don't think there's anything besides that. Anyway, back to the actual Sonic lore. The green one? What do you mean the green one? There is no green one. This guy? That's just Salty. Salty the Hedgehog. Oh my god, wait. No, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. I don't remember his name either. But that's not... He's just there as his PNG tuber. He's not there as like a Sonic OC. Okay, so cyberspace. Right, the ancients were kind of annoyed that their planet blew up. And they were like, man, it sucks that we lost everything in our culture. Tisk, we should do something about that. So they invented Apple. They invented the Apple Cloud. They called it cyberspace, and they can store things in it, but only with a subscription of $25 a month. So yeah, it says here, and again, I'm quoting this directly from Sonic Frontiers, and although the world was lost, blah, 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 blah. Trevor. There it is. It's Trevor. Alright, focus. Focus up, focus up. So, they invented the internet, yeah. Anyway, they also wrote the Gaia manuscripts. They wrote these things. They didn't just do everything. They didn't do everything in cyberspace. They also continued with like regular stuff. See, the Ancients lives through one of the times of awakening. They made these stuff that Professor Pickle has, and that's why, well, when Eggman undoes it, it being Dark Gaia, it is still like fresh. It's not matured at all because it has only been like tens of thousands of years. So it's still like within the first 1% of its cycle, or 10%. Shrug is still here? Shrug is not still here. Ain't no way. If he has, it's been like hours and the man hasn't said a word. These ancient documents are known as the Gaia manuscripts. They tell the legend of a disaster that befell our planet some tens of thousands of years ago. Genuinely wondering how many years the ancients were on Earth after the Master Emerald drew them in before the end arrived. Probably not that long. But then again, it's like tens of thousands of years, right? That's... like humanity, right? So I don't know. Long enough. The Ancients' last stand against the End. The End shows up. Womp womp. They're like, oh damn, the End's back. They killed all of us. We gotta... It's not hundreds of years to fight. See, that's no longer the case. No longer the case. Let me explain. Let me explain. It was hundreds of years to fight that fight that was going on that made the Earth turn to this giant ball of molten lava and flame before it hardens back to what it was. The Ancients decided to go all Voltron, and they made a bunch of different mechs to go fight it. It didn't work, but they had an idea. They said, hey, we can take physical stuff and put it into the cyberspace world. Why don't we just do that with the End? So they did, and it didn't work. Or at least it did, but they all died in the process. Which is kind of sad, but also a little funny. Little funny to me that this Coco in the bottom right here, I forget what his name is. It's like Snake or Dog or Lion or something from Sonic Frontiers. And he succeeded in trapping the end, but like not in killing it. Which means more than likely Jeffrey? We're naming him Jeffrey. Which means that there is like a Coco just kind of in space, like forever. Like he's unable to die. He is just trapped there, floating forever. And I feel bad for the man. So rip that guy. Who made the Super Emeralds? Or the Ancients made Chaos Emeralds? Whoa. Hey. Ho. I believe the Super Emeralds are the pure forms of the Chaos Emeralds. Neither are true. Guys, it's cool. The Super Emeralds are in this PowerPoint. We'll get there. So the rest of the Ancients, the ones that didn't die, they're like, let's go find that thing that made us crash. So they go look for it, and they find the Master Emerald. It's on a thing that they call Angel Island. Here's Angel Island from a zoom out on the left. Here's the Master Emerald, how they found it on the right. It was just chilling. Just landed there, hanging out, being a big old shiny rock. And they set up the second great civilization from this. Angel Island. Currently miles above the Earth's surface. It just kind of hangs out. The Ancients decide to live on it. It was pretty cool. They give it the ability to fly. See, they invent the Master Emerald Altar. This using the power that they have. If I go back to the Great Civilization, we can see all these different buildings, all these different stuff, and some of the stuff, it can fly, which is pretty darn cool. Using the power of the Chaos Emerald, in particular, using the Chaos Engines. They use that technology in their buildings to make them hover and stuff. So, they use that technology in Angel Island. That's what the Master Emerald Altar is. Cough, giant black shape in Kronos Island. What? Huh? What? I don't get it. What about it? Anyway. So they give it that. I hate to be that guy, but I thought and want to say in the Japanese book that to call rates the island keep the chaos even more locked away. No. The giant black floating pyramid flying tech. Whatever. Okay, so they made the Master Emerald Altar, which gives Angel Island the ability to fly. They didn't do that. They just installed the thing. They never activated it, which I think is very odd. But that's pretty much confirmed because it doesn't levitate until later. As Riboflavin here is, you are incorrect, but you are correct about the timing. They only lifted into the sky, like after the Chaos Zero Perfect Chaos incident. So they gave the ability to, but they didn't. However, it's not like they just built this one thing and then left it there. They did make a bunch of other things float. Sky Sanctuary. Behold. Sky Sanctuary is, well, the mysterious force. Oh, or I should say, Knuckles refers to it in-game, I forget which game, as a mysterious force that isn't the Master Emerald. And if Knuckles doesn't know what it is, he refers to it as a mysterious force, it's safe to assume that it is not the Master Emerald. So using some other sort of chaos control, chaos engine thingy, they made this society rise. And you can see it from Angel Island. Look, it's right over there. Like, you can see it from the Master Emerald Shrine. That's where they set up their land. They probably came back down to Angel Island to, like, farm and stuff. Knuckles does even remark in Frontiers that he believes the Ancients resettled into Angel Island, so this tracks. Yeah. So the Ancients lived in Sky Sanctuary, above Angel Island. And obviously, like in Frontiers Divergence, we can see things such as the top right here, the cyberspace. It's dilapidated, it's broken, but it's obviously very much one of the cyberspace terminals. Here's a weird question that I have about the cyberspace terminals, which I just don't understand. Why the hell? Okay, what shape is this? On the right, the cyberspace terminal. What is it? Check out the completed cyberspace portal and the tilting designs in Ancient Island. In a minute. Checkpoint shape? I disagree. Chair. Correct. Throne. Do you know how tall Sonic is compared to this thing? When standing on the seat, he is up to the armrest. But like, Sonic is only half the size of an Ancient. So this thing is massive, even compared to the Ancients. Why did they build it like a throne? They can't even use it like a throne. I have no idea why they built it in the shape that they did. It's just such an odd choice from Sonic Team. Moving on. Okay, Sky Sanctuary. Yeah. What about the completed cyberspace portal? Why did they build a freaking chair? Take a look at Master King. They probably needed this space for the golden frame thingies. It had to be wide. They said, yo! Oh, hi, Ferellian. Welcome back. Kind of real, though. Yeah, Giganto's way too big for that, but that did make me think, what if they were like charging stations? Whoa. Not the case, but very cool. The blue lines in the portals reminds me of the blue light glowing in Sky Sanctuary. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's totally, that absolutely might be connected. It's definitely a different color blue, and it's definitely just by sheer coincidence, but that's pretty cool. They could totally do that. Anyway, I click out for a while and he pulls up that PowerPoint. Hi, Shrug, welcome back. We were just talking about you. You were here. Someone was mentioning my long form video and why it's taking so damn long, and I was like, well, it's because I have to animate everyone. So I whipped out ShrugToon. ShrugPod, you have missed Sonic, the Great Awakening from Sonic Unleashed, and the Ancients arriving. What I can say is I am not going to finish today regardless, because this thing is almost 200 slides long and takes 3 hours if I'm moving, which we're not. We're taking our sweet time. So we'll be doing this next time as well. Right. So the Ancients, right? They set up their base in Sky Sanctuary. They're living over Angel Island, and they decide, you know what? I hated living through the Time of Awakening. That sucked. It's a good thing that we got the end out of the way, but inevitably, we're just gonna have to deal with the Time of Awakening again. What do we do? What can we do to fix that? So as they went across the world, looking for different places to live, setting up the second great civilization, they built the Gaia Temples. The Gaia Temples, we have now moved on from the Ancients. We are now referring to them as Gaians. Yeah? Good game, you? They have made 7. And here are they around the world, and where they are in... that Chaos held the entire fucking ocean together during Unleashed. It's not actually confirmed anywhere that that's the case. That's just how they handle it in Archie, and I think it makes the most sense, so I used it in my short. Gaia, Did I spell something wrong? Wait, what? Gaia Temple, spelled with the Gaians, like Gaia, Dark Gaia. What are you referring to, dude? Madagascar? Alex the Lion, what are you doing here? I don't know where Eggman Land is. I can't give you a real world. Like, it was completely paved over. So I don't know what was there that would be the real world counterpart. Gaians? Autocorrect? Yeah, the Gaians. They call themselves the Gaia, the Gaians. because they worshipped Gaia, I guess. I don't know, that's what Sega calls them. At some point, there was a civilization called the Gaians. They were the second great civilization, and I think it's safe to assume that they are just the descendants of the ancients. Imagine one person holding the entire sheer mass of the ocean together by themselves. Well, I don't know. If you have the power of, like, the Master Emerald, then you're probably fine. Anyway, so behold the Gaia temples. They're pretty darn big. Chilling out. Here's the inside of one and the outside of one. Now, the Gaia temples, all right, they have these things called the Gaia temple altars. Now, much like a lot of the buildings that the ancients have, they use the chaos engines. And again, you can see a side-by-side here. You put the chaos emerald into the hole, and the thing levitates. It does what you want. They worked out the technology. They're a lot smarter than I am. This is a long PowerPoint. Dude, we're on, like, what, slide 20 of 178? Yeah, I know. Now, here's the cool thing about the Gaia Temple altar, guys. This is what I was talking about earlier when you said, oh, but doesn't it take like hundreds of years to live through one of the times of awakening? Yes and no. It used to, but now it doesn't, because the ancients lived through that and they said, man, I really don't want to have to live through that again. That sucked. We should do something to help. So, therefore, once you get all of the Gaia temples together and you put all the Chaos Emeralds into their respective slots in the Gaia Temple altar, it all gets lifted out of the ground, and they all come together to form the Gaia Colossus. That thing. We still do not know what Light Gaia looks like in his strongest form. But to save the world from being destroyed over and over again, the Gaians built that for Light Gaia. It was not always the case. Obviously, someone had to make that. Light Gaia didn't make it for himself. The Gaians made that, and now he gets to use it to fight Dark Gaia. Yeah, exactly. Those wacky ancients and their giant battle bots. They have done this before. This is not new technology to them. Yeah. The stream so far is just... Dude, Gaia is so much, though. Gaia is so much of the lore. Optimus Gaia. Behold. Anyway, that's all that. If you want even more... I have a little bit of extra evidence here. You can find moon symbols in Sandopolis in Team Sonic Racing's sections. And the moon symbols, identical to the ones found in the Gaia temples, would only be there if Gaians were there. Therefore, yes, the Gaians very much were living, like had been to Angel Island, because proof of their civilization is there. And I have some extra evidence. Again, just similar gigantic for no reason architecture. I'm the Sonic to scale. I didn't even realize I put this slide in. This must be new. That's funny. Sonic for scale. He is a tiny little man. That's cool. I didn't know about the moon symbols. I didn't really consider whether the sun and moon medals were considered canon. I mean, the medals probably not, but like the symbolism, I'm sure their culture had all sorts of stuff, and that's definitely one of them, yeah. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about the Chao. I hate these guys. This is probably my biggest hot take in the Sonic series. I do not care for the Chao in the slightest. I have never been a fan of the Chao Garden. I think the Chao are kind of... They're not annoying. I just don't care for them. That's about it. I just don't care. But this isn't about my opinion. This is about how they fit in the lore. Hi, Mr. the Frog. The Chao are the descendants. Why do you hate them? Because they're depressing. They're depressing. They're so sad. You see this thing? You see these? You see that thing? Those were made by a civilization. A really cool civilization with technology and culture and buildings. And they got it so good that over tens of thousands of years, they evolved into literal child baby things that can't even speak and don't have fingers. That sucks. You know how E.T. goes? How the humans all leave Earth and become fat little blobs sitting in their chairs? That just happened to the ancients, and nobody talks about it. That's depressing as hell. Yeah, I know it's new, but it still is. So that's that. So, that's why I don't like the Chow. I think they're cute like everyone else does. I really do. But what they represent, it's kind of sad. Oh, sorry, did I say E.T.? My bad, Pixelus. I know what I'm talking about, I swear. Yeah, so I like the Chow. I think they're cool, but I think the story behind them is kind of depressing. Anyway, Chow. This is just kind of me explaining how Chows work. I think I think this little diagram at the bottom is hilarious. The child Chow comes out, hangs out, gains stuff, goes into a cocoon, comes out looking all cool, can evolve even more from there, and if it's treated well, it'll go back into a cocoon, reincarnate. If it doesn't, dies. I just like how on the official chart it just says die. Chow varieties, hero, neutral, and dark. I mentioned this in my short, but I really need to express it. Guys, dark Chows are not evil. They're not evil. A lot of people think this for some reason, but they're not evil. They are just... They know what they want, and they're not afraid to go take it. They're ambitious. It's like Slytherin from Harry Potter is the best way for me to explain it. Yeah, sure, most Slytherins turn out to be evil, but there isn't a dark... But that's not because they're Slytherin. Dark Chow's just... Like, yeah, sure, they tend to be bullies, but they're not evil by nature. They're way more likely to become evil. But, yeah. Sadistic Chow that wants to die, but their owners are really good at taking care of them. Anyway, Chows are cool. I like these guys. The Chaos Chow is the most interesting one. You're a Slytherin. Never really considered Chow moral. They're babies. So the Chaos Chow. This is kind of a game theory moment, I will admit, because I am taking what is obviously game logic and putting it into real life. So you can see in that smaller little block of text there that they need, at minimum, an otter, penguin, seal, condor, parrot, peacock, cheetah, boar, rabbit, bear, gorilla, tiger, raccoon. I spelled raccoon wrong, oh no. Sheep, skunk, dragon, phoenix, unicorn, bat, half a fish, and a dog skeleton in order to become a Chaos Chow. Obviously, it doesn't make any sense in real life, but the Chaos Chows, just, I think they're pretty cool because they resemble their ancient ancestors. Yo, what's happening? What's up, Creeper Boy 90? We're making our own timeline. Due to Game Theory releasing a dog shit timeline, I, Canon Construction, am constructing a cannon. It's what I do. It's Sonic stuff. We're talking about Sonic stuff. Anyway, we're going to jump a bit ahead. All right? So 4,000 years from present day, at least one Geyzoid is made. Anyway, moving on. A Geyzoid was made. Like, Emerald was very much a character, and he still very much is canon. There's no denying that. But Sonic Chronicles isn't. So we know that someone made Geyzoids, and that's literally all the evidence we have. That is all we have on the Geyzoids. If you want to learn more about Emerald or Gemerald, please do check out my channel, because I got shorts about them. Thank you. I really didn't like the timeline either. This is something I'm very passionate about. Well, buddy, you've come to the right place. Look at that pose. My boy's a diva. Dude, I love Emerald. Bro's sick as hell. Honestly, I didn't even know he could talk. though, I was really behind on the whole Emerald bit just because I never played Sonic Battle, and then up until Sonic X Shadow Generations, they never mentioned him again. So every time I looked at him, he doesn't have a mouth, so I just assumed he couldn't talk. He's just some other badnik, but no, I was wrong. And then I learned about him, and that's when, you know, Shadow X Generation started to come out, and I started doing a bunch of other stuff. Moving on. About 3,900 years from present day, so about 4,000 years later. I don't know where I got this number from. I really should fact check that myself. I made this, but I made this years ago, and I've been updating it ever since. But I don't know where I got that number from, so I'll check. Regardless, the Babylonians. Let's talk about them. He's like a baby that the gang raises. No, I know about Sonic Battle now. The circle is an eye. Yeah. It's true. So the Babylonians. We don't know what they looked like, but it's like heavily implied that they're birds. They flew in a thing called the Astral Gardens. Again, none of this is particularly new to you guys if you have played any of the Riders games. They had their own set of stones called the Arcs of the Cosmos, which were malfunctioning and they didn't want to die, so they split them up around the globe. The Arcs of the Cosmos are these things that can take energy and turn it into other energy. Neat. So they use them to manipulate gravity. The yellow one in the center there acts as the master computer. I think it's funny because it says 4 attract each other and serve under it, which is like one ring to rule them all, which is hilarious to me. How does it correlate to Sky Babylon? It doesn't. Complete chance. Complete coincidence. I don't think they knew what they were doing when they made those together. Never played Riders, but I do know about the Babylonians. Cool. So they ejected them across the planet, and they were like, we're going to just leave these things in orbit, and then we'll collect them later, so that way no one else can get them while we fix up our ship. Babylonians were thieves, and they were really, really good at it. Again, this is just all Babylon Rider stuff. So if you know anything about Babylon, then that's kind of it. You've never seen anyone discuss Sky Babylon. Moderately sad. There is so much stuff to do in Blaze's Dimension, dude. I wish they'd make a story there again. The Babylonians are also separate from the Babylonians in Iron History. Yes. For those who don't know about the actual Babylonians, they were very not nice people that persecuted many a Christian. A lot of death and sacrifice from those Babylonians. These are not they. These are space pigeons. They are similar in name only. I mean, I don't know. I think it'd be really funny, actually, if they had the Babylonians, like, capture and then just decapitate people that worshipped, like, Solaris or something for some sort of weird, like, historical connection. That'd be funny. Yo, me too. I'd love to see the whole world map of the Soul Dimension. This is one of the main things that I disagree with Ian Flynn. So Ian Flynn, for those who don't know, hates the Soul Dimension. He wants nothing to do with it. He's like, if I could remove the Soul Dimension from entirety, I would. And I think that's wild. Because you have a space problem, is what they keep running into in the Sonic universe, is that they've made so many different locations that they have to start coming back to once because there isn't enough space in the world to add more. You have an entire planet to mess with. It's the Soul Dimension. Go mess with it. You can make another adventure there. They just won't. I don't know why. Ian wants to merge the worlds of Rare Bad Take. Exactly my point. I've never understood that. You have so much untapped potential there. Anyway, so the Babylon Rogues, they chillin'. They've got their Babylonian stuff. Something about... Oh, wait, there's actually stuff about God here. Yeah, so this is fiction within the fiction. Yeah, you got the first part and the second part and the other parts. Moving on. Much later, hundreds of years later. Sand Ruins. Whoa. Sand Ruins, by the way, banger song from Sonic Racing Crossroads. That's actually my favorite one in the soundtrack. 9 minutes till live ends. Oh no! You're right, Miriam Lum. We're running out of time. So Sand Road's great. Near the Sand Ruins is just where it went. You know what it probably was? I probably got this number, and then it was like some years before. So I tacked it on to that. Whatever. The Key to Avalon Gardens, they found this. They were like, hey, wait a minute. We can take this and make it a controller to, like, find stuff. So they did. They don't use it, though, because they had no reason to. Because, like, if you find it, that's super cool, but now you can't do anything with it. So they were going to wait until they could reunite all the 5 arcs of the cosmos, and then they would go use it. Freaking hate Sand Road. I don't like Sand Road, the actual, like, track. Particularly that third turn. The indoor U-turn, I hate. I don't think I have managed to make that without slamming into a wall at full speed once. Its shape is just not good. And I have really high handling. Anyway. Extreme Gear. Behold. This is the start of Extreme Gear. So I know someone in chat was like, the cavemen were flying around on hover cars. No. That wasn't until, like, Middle Eastern history stuff. Extreme Gear, the prototype, 13th Babylon leader. He watched them make. Sheesh, that was like an hour ago. I'm remembering. Don't worry. I told you, it's all covered here. Everything is covered. I could make a whole PowerPoint on how much I hate Sand Road. Anyway, the flying carpet. So now we're getting into things like 1001 Arabian Nights. And because now they can basically fly, and they steal shit, and they're really fast, and they're tricksters, and blah, 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 they started to get referred to as genies. 3,000 years from present day. Here we go. Chaos. Buddy boy chaos. I can't believe birds can fly. Yeah. Wasn't there like a bit about that in Sonic Boom where Soar the Eagle was like, does anyone else think it's weird that the fox can fly but the bird needs a jetpack? Chaos. Chaos. Chaos is cool. He is not a water god of destruction, by the way. He's just a mutated Chao. There's nothing special about him aside from that. I mean, he's got water powers, I guess. But he's definitely not the water god of destruction. He's a nice dude. Like, if he was the water god of destruction, Tikal would be dead the second she laid eyes on him, right? In the show, it's my favorite joke. I'm a huge Sonic Boom fan, by the way, for those who don't know. I love Sonic Boom. Still headcanoning, he held the entire fucking ocean together. You can't. No, whoa, hey. I said he does in my short, dog. I agree with you there. Anyway, it's 10:55. You guys all know how this goes. Chaos the Knuckles Clan, Chief Pachikamak, the Mystic Ruins. We got the Call. We got the two of them. We got the death and the things and the explosion, the sacrifice and the things and the more aftermath and then we get the hidden Palace Stone, the Super Emeralds and more evidence and then blah 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 and the Black Arms and the everything else, and that goes on for a long time. This is a very, very long PowerPoint. Oh, so very long. It's like 200 slides. We got Maria being shot. Love that. We got everything from the 10 years ago. The Sonic lore is very complicated. There's a lot of stuff in the Sonic lore. There's a lot of stuff in there. So we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that at some point. But yeah, so this is everything before game 1. Present day, South Island. He's there, just chilling. And that's that. So, with that in mind, that's the slide. That's pretty much it for today. Thank you all for coming. I'm going to go ahead and end now because there's nothing else for us to really talk about. I felt the need to add a sound effect to definitely death only. Yeah. Dude, I get tears from people laughing at that scene. Whenever I gave that live, it's one of the funniest bits. I forget it's even there half the time. Like, I'm just as surprised as they are. How many parts will there be? It'll be its own video at some point. I don't know if I should break it up into parts, though. Just because of how darn long it is. But I don't know. We could continue next stream. You would just be seeing a video of it sometime within like the next year. So that's about it. Ken, I really enjoyed being here. Thank you for fixing the timeline. No problemo. Feel free to just call me Connor, by the way. It's my name. I love his PowerPoint. Fun to go through. Could do parts and compile it as one video. Yeah. I'll see. I'll see about that. So, this was the first time that I used Streamlabs. It's actually pretty identical for OBS. So once I figured out how to get the chat to work properly, I think I'm good here. So I'll be doing that more often. More frequently. Yes. You're my friend now. We're having tacos tomorrow. Alright, chat. So, I also stream on Fridays. Fridays from 2 to 5 Eastern. So come on back and we'll continue. We'll be picking up from the 3,000 years ago Knuckles tribe, and we'll take it nice and slow. We'll talk about everything in the Sonic lore, and I'll answer more of your questions. Until then, also on Friday, there should be the next short. Who is the next short, by the way? If you guys don't know, I run a short series called Who the Heck Is Anyway, and I cover every single Sonic character, no matter how obscure. It's been going on for several months. We're on like 65, I think. We are starting the IDW characters, so we did Tangle the Lemur. Today was Wisp of the Wolf. So on Friday, Rough and Tumble are the next characters that you will see a short on. Yep. Oh, any new subscribers here? Join the Discord. Yeah, thanks, Good Game You. Guys, go ahead and join the Discord. There is one in the comments below. The description, I should say. In the description, it's in my channel bio. So if you want to join that, we got all sorts of things. It's a great little community. I have a little art channel because I myself am an artist, and I'd love to see what you guys make. That's about that. Surge the Tenric, she's on the list. Don't worry. Don't worry. Who the heck is Rough and Tumble? You better prepare. You better not fumble. This is a short on Rough and Tumble. Oh, Pixelus. I may have to credit you. I'm doing that. No, that's actually a brilliant idea. I have to start the short with that. Or something along those lines, or like with that rhyme scheme. Because that's their whole deal. Alright. Yeah. It's been a good stream. I don't think I bumbled. I'll see you on Friday.